Okay. Okay. Yes. 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 Do we have people yet? Let's see that. Okay. Okay. Let people join in, and I'm so excited for this live. Can you please give me a thumbs up if I'm able to? I mean, like, am I audible? Yes? No? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, nice. I'm waiting for Ashmita to join in. So, before that, I would like to give a brief introduction as in why Ashmita and why she's so important to me. So, I am so excited for this live, and it's so amazing. Why? Because this is a person who has helped me to transform my life. It means a lot. And how to deal with etc, how to respond to situations right now is something which I really really appreciate, has been taught to me by Ashmita, and I want to discuss with a lot of things here. Hi. I'm so happy to see all of you here. This is so amazing. Perfect. Let in Ashmita join. Hi Shweta, how are you? Thank you, Angel, Sweetie 21, Saru. So, I'm just waiting for Ashmita, and before waiting, I was just saying that Ashmita has transformed my, life, and I really wanted you all to experience that. And today we are going to have a real fun chat, and let's see how it goes. Right? So how are you all feeling? Yesterday was the full moon. So how are the energies? How are you feeling? Tell me, how are you feeling? Because I was pretty drained because, the energies were so heavy yesterday, and I was pretty drained, and I woke up really not so me. I hope you people are feeling good, because the full moon happens to drain you, because it is ultimately just going to release all the old and invite the new. Wow, nice. So my brother is also there, and he says he's feeling really positive lately. Nice. Okay, Saru says good. Anjali says awesome. Nice. So, today's topic, which I have chosen, and actually it resonated really well with me and Ashmita both, and that was our past relationships. Because past relationships actually hold you back, and it affects the future really badly. And a lot of women are, conditioned that, you have to have that kind of attitude of go getter. Yes, Ashmita is here. Ashmita, if you can send me a request. Okay, we are waiting. I hope this works out. Hello. Hello, everyone. Okay. Yes, she's here. I'm so happy.
Sorry for keeping you waiting. I
That's
know
completely fine. That's completely fine. I'm so excited. How are you feeling?
I am so excited as well. I'm feeling good. Can you hear me properly? Is my sound
Yes,
clear?
yes. I am able to hear you very, very properly, and I hope there is no echo or anything from my end as well.
No, it is perfect.
Very nice. So, Ashmita, how are you feeling? Yesterday was the full moon, and you released your meditation, and I have heard such rave reviews about it. Congratulations on that. So, I
Thank
will be,
you.
yeah, I will be doing it tonight. Yesterday, I was very preoccupied. So, Ashmita, you know, you are an intuitive coach, and I want to introduce you first to all my audiences here. You are one of the person who has transformed my life. And why I say that is when I met you, I met you and it was completely a different connect. Okay. Apart from that, what happened, I met you at a stage of my life where I really, really needed, someone to tell me that go, Ruchi, just look, within, just heal, go heal. So there was nobody to say that. And even if people say that, they don't know how to do it. So I was among one of those. I never knew and how to go about it. I was in a fix and it was not letting me go further, go forward. And you know that I'm already a very go-getter kind of a person. And that has been also a major issue, which we will be taking up here as well, because mostly, all women are conditioned that way. So, Ashmita, welcome to the live, and shall we start?
Absolutely. Firstly, I would like to, say a thank you for the introduction. It was beautiful. I have seen you blossom so amazingly, and I always say that the timing of it is not in our control. There's something else that is beyond us, that's working through us when we do this work, or in fact, any kind of work. Here, we consciously invoke that power to work through us, and that is why we can so clearly see the synchronized effects of it. And so, all I would just like to say is that the moment I appeared in your life was because there was a higher guidance coming for you. And for anyone who's ready to heal, there will be a healer that will appear in front
Yes.
of them and for them. And I'm sure that you're going to be that healer for a lot of people, coming in and watching you. So I'm
I
so
am so
happy and
happy.
excited for you.
Thank you, Ashmita. So, tell me something about yourself because you are an intuitive coach. So, I have met many life coaches, okay, but you happen to be an intuitive coach, and I suppose if I recall back, most of the workshops I have done with you. I mean, mostly all of the workshops, and I see that yes, you actually have this intuitive power which you derive and you guide in such a beautiful way. So tell me something about it because I really want to know that how is that journey? Because there is one person who is very calculated, who knows the X, Y, Z, and they work accordingly. That this is your area and this is how you work. But intuitive working is a very different kind of a thing, right? So please tell us about it.
Well, it's as simple as something that I told you right now, which is letting the divine force work through you. So the reason why we, work in the field of healing or coaching is because at times we know that there is something else that is working through us. There is a higher power. So mostly spiritual coaches, they believe in that, right? So the intuition comes in from that belief. It comes in from having that faith and trust in that higher power to the next level. Like people have it in their daily lives. They might go home and pray and say, my prayers come true. But this is about every step that we take. We know that there is something else flowing through us. So especially in terms of our workshops or any kind of sessions that we do, it's every step is guided, and then that becomes your way of life. Then you start living life in an inspired way, in
Mhm.
spirit, and that's
Yes.
what flows through us and flows will or is already flowing through you right now as well, right? So that's intuition. It's nothing but trusting that what you know is not your own knowingness. It's coming. It is something else that is flowing through. It's the higher power. Yes, it is you. At the same time, it's the divine essence that is within you. So having knowing that, you can just flow from that space. And where I started was, it's very interesting. I used to watch this Hallmark show called The Good
Okay.
Witch. Um,
Okay, nice.
yeah, right. So I used to love the way she is. I used to love, like, she had this store called Bell Book and Candles, and I was like, I want to have a store like that, and I want to be like this very, very, very. She was very subtle with her intuitive cues, and she knew exactly what someone wanted. So from there on, I was like really fascinated by it, and I knew that there was something else beyond that fascination. So when you open up to this area of intuitive gifts, it's like a whole world of possibilities come in for you when mentors start appearing to you, and other people start telling you that you have these gifts, and you cannot look beyond, like you cannot overlook that. Because for me it was very, very out there in my face that, look, this is what you have, and you need to own it up because we can see it, and
Yes.
we want you to see it as well. So that's the message that I repeatedly received. And one day I decided that, let's get along with it, and let's just trust it completely.
So, Ashmita, a lot of people out there. So, for me also, it is the same kind of a thing. A lot of people told me that, you have to be a healer. And there came a point of time when, along with you, there were three other people at the same point of time telling me that you cannot skip it. You can skip it for now, but you cannot, overlook it. So, you have to look into that. So, I totally understand. But, there are so many people out there who even don't know that are they intuitive, or is it for everyone, or how do they identify that? Because that is something which I also faced, early in my intuitive field, if I would want to talk about it that way.
So, if I say whether it's for everyone, I would say it's for everyone who's curious, everyone who is fascinated by this field. Because when there is a sense of calling towards that field, then of course the doors automatically open up, right? As I said, there was a sense of attraction, a pull towards that. Um, and you'll get to know if you're pulled towards it, that means it is for you. That means you, because we all have intuition, we all have the ability to access the divine power that is flowing through, the divine energies that are flowing through. It's just about our choice. Are we ready to make that choice? So people who are ready and who feel this pull towards it will open up their intuitive gifts. It's as simple as that.
Wow, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. So, if apart from your intuitive journey, which you say is very beautiful, for someone like who is very clueless, that is not very, very, very smooth, I would say. But if, as Ashmita has already said, if you're very curious and if it's your calling, you'll get to know that. And to be very honest, as you have already said that, that it is very all the mentors and everyone starts coming to your life on your own. You don't have to, kind of go and, behind someone. So that is something which is also very necessary, because a lot of people out there who want to start a journey, they're very curious and they will go to all sorts of people, So that is something which is also to be beware of, I would just say. Yes, because that is something also which is important. But so today's topic, let's hop right into it. So today's topic is very interesting and it's very close to my heart as well, because it is something to do with your past relationships and how it affects your future relationships. First of all, it actually there are many past relationships which are very traumatic in nature. It can be of any kind of abuse or abusive relationships. First of all, I would want to ask you that, how do you actually overcome that in order to, um, because when when I will talk in a perspective of a woman right now, okay? So what happens that when you want to leave such kind of a situation, you're very much in guilt, okay? And sometimes shame that, okay, you know, what is wrong with me? So this, your shaming and your self guilt, all these kind of things, how to overcome that? Because leaving that is the first step. Then probably we would talk about how it affects your future, even, you know, even if you are out of it. So first, things first, how do we overcome that?
Yeah, I think firstly, the important step is awareness. You need to first be aware that where you're at in terms of your relationship is not normal. If you're in an abusive cycle, it is not a great space to be in, and you don't need to be there even if you feel that you don't have any other choice. There is always a choice. You're not choosing to make that choice as of now. So be aware of which, the kind of relationship that surrounds you. And this awareness will come in when you've suffered enough, when you're like, I am suffering so much, I need some help. When you reach that space that I need some help, that's when you start becoming aware of how this relationship is impacting you. Because you finally agreeing to the fact that there is something not okay. Because a lot of people who are in an abusive relationships, who are in an abusive relationship, it becomes very normal for them. It's normalized for them that this is how it is, and they don't see it in any other way. It could be emotionally abusive, where the other partner is extremely controlling, or it could be physically abusive, right? Or it could be a relationship with an addict. So you first need to understand that whichever situation you're in, there is a pathway to get out of it, and you can if you choose to. A lot of people don't get out of it because there are some financial constraints, or they might not be able to um, figure it out because of some legal issues. So at that point in time, you need to first be aware that while yes, you are in a deep mess, there is a way out there, and you're going to find that way out there for yourself, because you deserve better. So having that awareness is the first step. Now when you're in this relationship, of course there is a lot of guilt and shame. That's why you decided to be there unconsciously, because somehow it was fulfilling your need in a destructive way, right? So you might
Mhm.
have a childhood need, and that might have been fulfilled in that relationship, but in a destructive way, that's destructive for you and for the other person, right? So again, awareness about which need was this relationship fulfilling, or is this relationship fulfilling, and how to fulfill that same need in a more appropriate way, or in a more healthier way, will help you process this guilt and this shame. Because the guilt comes in when we feel that we have done something wrong, but at the end of the day, that we did not have the awareness. We couldn't have done
Mm.
anything better. We needed something, and that's the only way we thought we could fulfill that need. So if you see yourself as a little child, you would understand that you needed something from someone, and you might have not known how to get it in a healthy way. So you chose to get it in an unhealthy way through a toxic relationship dynamic. With that awareness, you can start shifting things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, that's very, very important. But also, Ashmita, sometimes it becomes a repetitive pattern. Okay, so can you talk something on like how do we identify? Because a lot of them don't. They, you know, like kind of just, you know, kind of get into the same thing over and over. So today, if I don't heal myself and if I don't, you know, kind of join, in sense that if I don't heal myself, I won't be able to go forward in a healthy relationship. I will keep on repeating, or if we keep on attracting the same kind of person. Can you, you know, throw some light on that aspect? Because it's a repetitive pattern which people are falling for. So how do they identify exactly? I know the awareness part you already told about. It helps us in the guilt and, you know, self-shaming. But how do we identify any kind of pattern, if that's the question I would like to pose?
So a pattern would be, you're always attracting a cheater. You're always attracting someone who's emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
You're always attracting someone who promises you some great things in your life and then ghosts on you. So if there is more than one person like that, then it's a pattern, it's a clear pattern, and you're stuck in that pattern. And the reason why you're stuck in that pattern is again that there is a need which this pattern is fulfilling for you. And also, there is a lot of lack of self worth, so you need to feel worthy enough for something better. You need to feel deserving enough to look for a better relationship and to even know that there exists a better relationship. For a lot of people this becomes their reality, especially
Yeah.
people who attract cheaters, or people who cheat on them, or who are not loyal to them, and especially if it's a marriage, then somehow they find ways to normalize it and to be okay with it and to understand
Yeah.
it. And while sometimes we need to work through difficult relationships to make the marriage work, it's also important that in that whole dynamics we're not sacrificing ourselves. The
Yeah.
main problem occurs when you're sacrificing yourself repeatedly in relationships. And that is where the guilt comes in. That is where you feel this unhappiness, you feel sad, depressed, because it's like someone is pulling away a part of you and taking it away. And you are wanting to blame that person, but at the same time, you're blaming yourself too. So, again, the first step is be aware if you're repeating a pattern, there is a way out. And I want you to start searching for that way out if you're watching today, especially.
Yeah, so there's a very interesting question, which is already, I suppose you have answered it. And it is, it says that can you please give an example of what needs these toxic relationships fulfill? Why would we attract abuse or addicts in our life?
Yeah. So, the reason why we would attract, addicts, or we would attract abusive relationships is first, there is a very low sense of self worth that we carry
Yeah,
within us, and we want someone to approve of us, and through and the way that we know someone to approve of us is by trying to control them, especially if it's, so let's take an example of an addictive relationship, okay, where the person is, and not an addictive relationship where the partner is an addict. So the person comes every day, drinking, and let's say they have an alcohol addiction, right? And you're wanting to change that, you're wanting to do something about it because you're the codependent in the relationship. And you continue to try to change them and control them and make them stop. So that becomes your pattern. Your need is to, get approval for them. And the way that you've learned to get approval from people is by trying to change them or by trying to control them. And so you're fulfilling a need in a very destructive way for you. Is that making sense?
yes, I believe it is making sense. And then there's a question, what's the way out to break the negative pattern? I suppose that first thing is to heal yourself and look within. That's the way out to break any kind of negative pattern. If Ashmita, if you want to, add something to it, please go ahead. I feel that yes, that has helped me to break a negative pattern. At least not break a negative pattern, so at least identify that okay, this is a repetitive pattern and I have to break through it. And when I have started healing myself and looking within, I am surprisingly getting a lot of answers, right?
Absolutely. So let's take another example. Let's take the same example of having a relationship with someone who's an alcoholic, right? And you're wanting to really wanting them to love you back, wanting them to put you first, and you're again, in order for them to do that, you need to be there and try and control them. So when you understand the dynamics that is there between the two of you, when you understand that, how there is a need to control the other person within you, and that is probably love for you. And when you're aware of it, you can start shifting it from there on. See, for most people, for a lot of people, awareness is the most powerful step, because a lot of people are
Yeah.
not aware they're stuck in a toxic dynamic, especially when they have normalized things for themselves. Especially in cases where the person is not loyal to them and they found ways to normalize it for themselves. And um, so when you're aware, you suddenly recognize that, oh, there is a lack of self-worth and I need to work on that. Finally, like finally, the focus shifts onto you from the other person. You're no longer concerned about the other person anymore. I
Yes.
mean, of course, you're addicted to that pattern, so you are, but a part of you is also focused on you. So awareness shifts a lot of things. As you might have seen in the movie Thappad, right? So for her,
Yeah.
she had an instant awareness and that shifted things. Once you have an
Yes.
awareness, then you can get someone to help you with it, someone like Ruchi or someone like me to help you, find the way out in a very, very beautiful manner that is aligned to you, because healing is a very intimate process, right?
Yes.
So we need to understand what's really happening, and where do you need that self love? Where is this pattern emerging from? And how can you really break this pattern through a lot of inner work, of course.
Yes. Yes, that was so beautifully explained, Ashmita. And I have personally experienced it. So, I can I can actually take word by word, you know. And so moving on to the next part, because this was the part where we are trying to break a pattern, we're trying to move forward. Now we move forward. What's next? It haunts us. It wants to pull us back. These kind of situation has happened. Sometimes you consciously think also that, oh my God, am I slipping back into that pattern? Am I there again where I started? Because this really happens. So how does it affect our future relationship? And if it is affecting, and it is, for that matter, it's a personal experience, then how do we get out of it? Because it is again a lot of confusion.
Okay, so let me try and explain this to you. So, for example, in your childhood, you experienced something. So, let's take an example. In your childhood, you experienced abuse, any kind of abuse, right? So, that energy got stuck in you because you were not able to process your emotions at the time you were abused. And then it started to build on. As you grew up, you carried the shame with you, you carried the guilt with you. And as you grew up more, um, because you had this unprocessed energy within you, it started attracting the similar things to you, the similar experiences to you by law of attraction, right? Because when we are vibrating at the level of guilt and shame, we'll have more experiences that can validate that. We'll have more experiences that are aligned to that guilt and shame that we carry. So, more abuse. So, a lot of people who are abused in their childhood, they will attract more abusive relationships as they grow up. It's like it becomes a norm for them. It's like
Yeah,
growing up, also nothing different, similar to what happened in the childhood, right?
yeah,
So, um, there is a sense of trauma, or we say the trauma body or the pain body that is there within us, and this carries the whole, this carries and it encapsulates our negative experiences, and it keeps on building up with more such repeated experiences. So, to get out of this, we need to dissolve this intense pain that is stored in our bodies. So, where is it stored? It's stored inside our bodies, right?
yeah,
So when we're repeating the pattern, suddenly, as you practice awareness, you practice presence, you will be able to catch yourself and you will be able to catch that trauma body within you.
yeah,
And then you can follow the path of, it's a little complex, but I'm trying my best. You can follow the path of mindfulness to dissolve it, or you can follow any other outlet of expression like talking into the mirror, journaling, because what is happening is there is body stored inside our body. It's seeking an outlet of expression. When we give it the outlet of expression, either through journaling or by talking it out in the mirror, or through any mindfulness process, we're
Hmm.
able to process that pain, or we're able to process that emotional energy that's stuck. And when that dissolves, we're free, and we're free again, and we can then experience more good in our lives, and we can stop repeating that pattern. Is that making
Yes.
sense to you?
Yes, yes, it completely is. So the mantra is acknowledge, process, and let go, right?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
I think that works pretty fine because I have worked on myself. So I can, yes, I can say that, yes, it works pretty fine. And, you tend to, healing is a process. So a lot of people also asked me that, okay, you are already, Reiki healer. So, why are you still attending the workshops? Why are you still, like in this kind of a state, at times? Then I have to explain them that please do not take that, healers don't require healing. Healing is a, as Ashmita's already told, it's a very intimate process. It's a lifelong journey. You cannot just heal in a complete one day. So that is something which we have a strong takeaway that healing is a lifelong process. It's okay if you're letting it out at any point of time, whatever are your, pain bodies and whatever are your, other kind of things, everything, you if you're getting a release or letting it go, it does take time. It cannot happen all in a day. That is something. And connecting to that, Ashmita, would you like to say something, or shall I move to one of the, the other important topic which I have in mind?
Okay, so my phone is going to die, unfortunately. Um,
Okay,
so I might not be able to move to that. Either you can continue and give me some time to get the charger, then I'll join back, or
okay.
you can go on to the final takeaways.
Okay, we can go on to the final takeaways because for me, it was just, I just wanted to spend some time with you because you actually hold a very special place in my heart because you taught me, actually, you started to, you are the first person who taught me that how to heal and, how to look within. And that is something so, so, so beautiful. So for today, I think this will be our thing. We can take it up next time, the feminine energy and what is feminine and masculine energy, what it has to do with the sacral chakra, what is chakra for that matter. A lot of people don't even know about it. So all these things we will
I would
take
just
it
like to I would
next.
just like to pitch in now and
Yeah.
say that this can end any time. So I just want to pitch in and say that when we do it the next time, I would love for us to do it together because it's
Yeah.
a more collaborative way because it's a chakra conversation.
Yes.
And I think you are a Reiki healer, so you might come in very naturally in this. And if you're excited about knowing more about the sacral chakra and how to unblock it, unblock the sense of pleasure and fun, please comment below and tell us. You can say ready to learn, and we'll come back.
Yeah. And that would be so, so fun. So we can, yes, if you're ready, you can just write ready or maybe learn. Right? Jyoti already writes, she is excited already. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ashmita, for, sparing some time and letting us know that how you can break any kind of negative pattern. And, a lot of comments showed up of just, they're thanking. Right. So I think Ashmita is going now because the battery died. So I would end the live here, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was so, so amazing. And next time we will hold a collaborative either, live where you can get to learn more about chakras and where you get to learn about more about, how to heal, how to have your self-worth and everything which is feminine and masculine energy, all these kind of different kind of terms which pop in. We will clarify all those and it will be more collaborative. Thank you. Yes, I will save it, Jyoti. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you.